Mr. Speaker, I want to make a personal statement on the life and legacy of Professor Philemon Fundi Indire. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52.1 to make a statement on the matter of national concern, namely the life and legacy of Professor Philemon Fundi Indire, who passed away on 13th March 2025 and will be buried on Saturday this weekend. Mr. Speaker, sir, Professor Philemon Fundi Indire, a constituent of Vihiga County, was a towering figure in Kenya's academic, religious, diplomatic, and political landscape, and stood out as one of the Kenya's most distinguished educationists and public servant. Professor Indire began his education journey at Makerere University, where he studied alongside the late former President Mwai Kibaki as classmates. He later taught at French School Kamsinga before proceeding to United States of America, where he earned a PhD in Education Foundation from Indiana University in Bloomington. Mr. Speaker, sir, upon his return in 1962, Professor Indire served as the Provincial Education Officer for Nyanza region and was later posted to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as an Undersecretary. After Kenya's independence, he became the first secretary at the Kenyan Embassy in Moscow, Russia, helping establish diplomatic ties with the then Soviet Union. Mr. Speaker, sir, Professor Indire was appointed the founding dean of the Faculty of Education at the University of Nairobi in 1966 and was later made Professor of Education as the first Professor of Education in Kenya in 1972 by President Jomo Kenyatta, being the first Kenyan to hold such a title, Mr. Between 1983 and 1988, he served as a nominated member of parliament appointed by President Daniel Arap Moi. In his last years, Professor Indire continued to shape young minds at the university, at Maseno University, and also served as a visiting professor in multiple universities in the United States. He was a devoted Quaker and participated very actively in Quaker organization across the world, and most importantly, the setup of Friends Center along Gong Road, and had a moral compass to many in both private and public spheres. Mr. Speaker, sir, Vihiga County and indeed the entire nation mourns the loss of this great mind and mentor, a man whose life was a library of wisdom, service, and humility. His contribution to education and nation building is remarkable. On behalf of the people of Vihiga, I extend my deepest condolences to his family, friends, and the wider academic fraternity, religious fraternity, diplomatic fraternity, and political fraternity. May his soul rest in eternal peace. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Mohamed Faki.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the capacity of the county government of Mombasa to issue building permits and supervise construction site. Mr. Speaker, sir, on the 3rd of April 2025, a 10-story building in Mombasa was reported to be collapsing, and as a result, emergency services were mobilized to address the anticipated disaster. Alarmingly, the concerned developer had submitted and was granted approval for plans for a 6-story building, but disregarded the approved plans. This illegal action by the developer escaped the attention of the county government of Mombasa, raising concerns about the effectiveness of the supervision of construction site by the county government. Further, the current boom in multi-story property development in Mombasa is being undertaken without due regard for the availability of the requisite infrastructure, such as water, sewerage, electricity, road networks, calling to question the capacity of the county government of Mombasa to issue building permits. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee should address the following: the number of approvals granted by the county government of Mombasa for the construction of multi-story buildings between August 2022 and March 2025, including the applicable charges for each approval. Number 2, the number of civil engineers, physical planners, building inspectors currently employed by the county government of Mombasa, and whether the personnel are adequate for the effective discharge of their duties. Number 3, the steps being taken to strengthen the supervision and monitoring of construction projects to ensure strict adherence to approved building plans and to prevent unauthorized deviations. And number 4, the strategies being pursued by the county government of Mombasa to match development of multi-story buildings with development in other essential infrastructure, such as water, sewage, electricity, and road networks. Mr. Speaker, sir, yesterday we witnessed the demolition of the 10-story building in Mombasa County, which was undertaken by the KDF with the assistance of the Emergency Services, National Youth Service, and the County of Government of Mombasa and the police. Mr. Speaker, although the demolition was conducted safely, we lost one person on Sunday when the building partially collapsed as a result of the weak structure of the building. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Faki, next time don't add anything to your statement, you know. Statement under 57-1, standing under 57-1, majority leader. Or your principal assistant.
Mr. Speaker, I would have handed my unverified assistant, but I'm told she misbehaved before I came into the house, so I'm still following reports and analyzing what she may have said. Then I will know whether to take another route. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 57-1, I hereby present the business for the week commencing Tuesday, the 15th of April 2025. This is on the status of legislative business that is pending before the Senate. Number 1, Mr. Speaker, there are 59 bills, of which 41 are the second reading stage, 12 are the committee of the whole, and 6 are the third reading stage. There are 23 motions that are pending conclusion, 26 petitions to be concluded, 17 of which are due for reporting. Mr. Speaker, you know, committee chairs are here, and I hope they can be respectful and mindful of the fact that time is of the essence. It is not out of failure for what to do, Mr. Speaker, that we provided in our standing orders that petitions must be concluded within 60 days. And therefore, I hope the chairpersons that are in the House, Mr. Speaker, can help conclude. There are 578 statements pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 that are under consideration by the Standing Committee. Last week, I can report to the House, Mr. Speaker, that we were presented at SBC with a proposal from our technical staff on how to manage statement time with regards to cabinet ministers. The SBC further requested the same technical team to perhaps present a paper which we shall share with the House eventually, the findings on the issue of statements. You can imagine these are 578, Mr. Speaker, some of which perhaps have already been overtaken by events, or some of those matters have been resolved. So there needs to be a way within which, first, we vet what statements make it to the House, but second and most importantly also, a time frame within which we can conclude the statements once they make it to the committee. The bills that are the third reading stage are scheduled in today's order paper, order number 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. I urge honorable senators to remain in the chamber for division to be undertaken. I'm not very sure whether that is a wise call, Mr. Speaker, looking at the House and having served in this House fairly long enough. I know to get people here on certain days is not easy, so probably if we don't succeed today, we will try and conclude on them Tuesday. Some of them are very pressing issues, including your own bill, Mr. Speaker, where you're seeking to grant autonomy to our county assemblies, Mr. Speaker, and so many other bills that are before us. Next week, Tuesday, Mr. Speaker, the SBC will consider that particular matter that I've raised, and as well as schedule business for the week that will be indicated in the order paper. The tentative morning sitting for Wednesday include questions to various cabinet secretaries, as well as motions that are already approved. There will be questions to the CS for Interior, Mr. Speaker, quite a number of them. There are questions also to the Minister of Education, Mr. Speaker, on that particular day. Then the tentative business, and it will be the tentative business for sitting on Wednesday, 16th of April 2025, will include business not concluded from the order paper for Tuesday, 15th April 2025. The bills that are second reading are thus listed: the county government state officers removal, the creative economy, county government's amendment, labor migration and management bill, the street naming and property addressing system bill, Mr. Speaker, a very good bill, Mr. Speaker. You know, this practice of people waking up, especially in counties, I think they are following up from our forefathers, Mr. Speaker, that decided to name almost everything after themselves. Nowadays, governors in some counties, they build a road and they name it after their first wife, tomorrow, their girlfriend, and the roundabout, you know, things like that. This bill actually seeks to provide the procedure through which public funded infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, are to be named. Then there are motions as well. Honorable senators may recall that the Senate is scheduled to proceed on recess next week on Thursday, that is the 17th of April, in accordance with our calendar. I therefore take this opportunity to urge all senators with the business schedule in the order paper and programs of the Senate business for the next week to be available in the House to prosecute the same. I urge our party whips to ensure that necessary number of county delegations is achieved for divisions to be undertaken when due. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and do hereby lay the statement on the table of the Senate. I thank you.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Chair, Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations Committee. Senator for Nyamira, can you now repeat the issue that you raised with me? The chair is now in the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, last week on the 1st of April 2025, I did raise a statement on the
devolution. Chair, Senator Chelegai, give Chair time to listen to my directive.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, last week on 1st of April 2025, I did raise a statement under Standing Order 53-1 before the House on the happenings within the County Assembly of Nyamira, more so the division that had led to the creation of two factions of county assemblies within the County of Nyamira. Mr. Speaker, your office did direct that this matter be handled with the utmost urgency, and I want to report to the House that on the 8th of April 2025, the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations had a meeting with the two factions of the County Assembly of Nyamira, together with presentations from the Office of the Controller of Budget. Mr. Speaker, in view of the urgency surrounding this matter and to ensure that there is restoration of normal operations within the County Assembly of Nyamira, I seek that the chair of the committee gives a progress report to the House next week. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, devolution.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as you are aware or may be informed by the Senator for Nyamira, we have called both parties, the warring parties, from the Assembly of Nyamira the day before yesterday, Monday, and we have listened to them. The only challenge now we have is the matter is in court. And since the matter is in court, we cannot reach a decision because that's the prejudice of the court. However, we will submit the report. We have already asked for our legal team to advise us accordingly. Of course, we are not in court. It's only them who are in court. So we will try our best to at least submit the report next week, God willing, by Thursday, hopefully.
Thank you, Chair. I think that's a good commitment. Looking at our time, I'm constrained to go to the next order, which is order number. I'm constrained to go to order number 8, but I can give 2 members from both sides, 2. Start with Senator Lekina. And kindly stick to the statement that you are committing, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a House of Union. I always say this is a house that unites the entire country. When we have a crisis in terms of the management of our counties, it behooves all of us to come together and come up with a solution. Mr. Speaker, the statement raised by Senator Dulo is something that should worry all of us because the county chief officers are tasked with the day-to-day running of those counties. If you hear that the county government of Isiolo does not have the 32 chief officers, then it begs a big question: who is running that county? If you look at the PFM Act, Mr. Speaker, in terms of resources, the chief officers have got a fiduciary responsibility to ensure that the funds are utilized well. Even when the funds are being withdrawn from the control of budget, the chief officer is the one who has got to sign. So, Mr. Speaker, when Senator Dulo tells us that Isiolo does not have chief officers, that is a matter that all of us must take very seriously. We need to be able to sit with the control of budget, first of all, to understand how funds are being utilized. Is it an issue of on-source revenue? But when you think about it, Isiolo doesn't have a lot of on-source revenue. So it's a shareable revenue, the revenue that we in this house divide for our counties. So that is an issue that must be dealt with. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the issue of, and that one, I hope that the chairperson of the Labour Committee can take that matter seriously. This is an issue that committee should actually travel to Isiolo, go deal with it so that we understand exactly how we are managing our counties. The issue of Nyamira County is an issue that also concerns me. How can we have 2 county assemblies? I mean, it is ridiculous. We know that we have 1 county assembly that should meet in the county assembly premises unless it is gazetted that we are going to be meeting elsewhere. Mr. Speaker, if the Senate plenary decides to host its meeting elsewhere, it must be gazetted. So these are very simple things that needs to be dealt with. You know, it's just a matter of ensuring that we adhere to the rule of law, we follow through. So I hope that the devolution committee, let us not deal with the issue of courts. You know, there are things which become sub judice, but when it is the issue that relates to, you know, that the supervision of the counties by the Senate, that is a matter we should actually move very expeditiously.
Just a minute, Senator Omugeni. I mean, Senator, okay, sorry, Rendama. Chair, devolution. You have a point of order?
Information.
Or point of information?
Yes. Honorable Speaker, I want to inform the House and the member of the Senator for Narok. As much as we appreciate that there must be only one location, one venue for the Assembly, they have gazetted another venue. Actually, 4 hours, they call it, what do you call it, something Mashanani. And they have 4 venues, actually, they have gazetted officially. And I'm informing, actually. One other thing, Assembly, order. Honorable Speaker, please, let me conclude first.
Proceed.
I know some, but one other thing, Honorable Speaker, the previous speaker was forcefully removed from the office and the chamber, and it actually was even injured, and therefore he has even run away because of fear of his own life and his team. So they hold the meetings in other places. Thank you.
Can you conclude, Senator Akina?
Mr. Speaker, he's my colleague, so when he informs me, I have to really take it seriously. But one thing that worries me, and this is one of the things that I'm trying to bring to the attention of this House, is that when we have the 2 sittings of a county assembly, and this one says it is a county assembly, it is illegal. So really, we have to look at it this way. The Speaker of this House sits on that chair having been elected by the members of this House. So if the members of this House decide to forcefully remove a Speaker, how can then the clerk of the Assembly goes ahead and gazette, because, gazette another sitting area? So this is a matter that I think the Devolution Committee should not tolerate those gazette notices. Sittings of assemblies, sittings of the Senate must be held in plenary, in a place which is recognized. Remember, Mr. Speaker, we passed budgets of assemblies to build their headquarters. So then how do we treat that? How do we continue saying we need to collect more money to support those counties, yet people are going to sit under a tree to hold proceedings? This is something that really we should be very careful. Because tomorrow, if some of us decide that we are not happy with the Speaker, we forcefully remove him there, and then someone sits here, we divide this House. Come on. It doesn't work like that. So, Mr. Speaker, these are 2 very important issues that we must address as a Senate of the Republic of Kenya. The issue of Isiolo County is something very, very important that all of us must remember, that when we are given responsibilities, chief officers are tasked with the fiduciary responsibility. Now, who is responsible in that county anymore? Chief officers are the ones who deal with the day-to-day operations. If you're talking about CECs, those are political appointees. Those are people to guide on terms of policy. But who implements that? A chief officer is like a permanent secretary, a PS. So these are things that, Mr. Speaker, we need to be very serious upon. Other agencies, even the Attorney General's office, even the Treasury, must also be alive to the fact that there is a problem in Isiolo County. Deal with it. Let us deal with it. There is a problem in Nyamira County. If we keep sitting here and we play, and our committees don't take the matters seriously, then of course we'll be making a fool of ourselves. So, Mr. Speaker, I end by reminding our colleagues that we are House of Union. All these problems that we are facing as a country, even the issues about drama and students, the role that we should take ourselves is we should attempt to unite those agencies that are fighting. Those students, those are our children. If we unite those children and also try not to expose our children to things that are controversial, we have to remember that we are here, and whatever we do, our children are learning. Let us be good teachers, Mr. Speaker. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Ndama. Senator Omugeni, this House can really benefit from the senator representing that particular county with issues. And I've really repeated myself severally that you are not, the senator may be for West Pokot. Is here to represent the interests of the West Pokot County. And it is the senator representing a county that has issues, the way Senator Nduro represents Isiolo, and you, Senator Mugeni. The senators, your colleagues should benefit from your information and knowledge concerning that particular issue in Nyamira. Of course, not everybody was at the inquiry on Tuesday. Not all senators were there, but I want to give you 3 minutes to put us to speed, especially on the issues in Nyamira and what is happening. I know you have tasked the committee to do that, but you wanted to inform the chair. So I want you to take 3 minutes so that this house can benefit from you as the senator for Nyamira County.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. And of course, you are right, Mr. Speaker, that the people of Great County of Nyamira are looking at their senator and the 67 other senators to find a solution that is within the confines of the law. And I thank the chair of the devolution committee that is seized of this matter, Mr. Speaker, but I want to agree fully with Senator Olekina. Mr. Speaker, people cannot come to this house and tell us that there are cases filed in court and we run away from our responsibilities. If you remember the Solomonic decision by former Speaker Marende, there were court cases, but that did not prevent Speaker Marende from stepping in and making a decision of the House be known to the whole country. Mr. Speaker, first, the two parties were heard before the devolution committee, though there was inadequacy of time. I think one faction is of the view that they did not get adequate opportunity to present their case. Mr. Speaker, this is a matter that is very simple. We are giving money to the county government of Nyamira. That confusion is creating an opportunity for those who want to siphon money from that county to do it in an easy way, Mr. Speaker. In fact, if we were to be candid, by now the CID, the EACC should be camping in Nyamira. Some of the things that have happened in Nyamira needs an intervention that can lead to some people being sent to jail, Mr. Speaker. Because there is no way, Mr. Speaker, even if we disagree with His Excellency the President, there is no way, Mr. Speaker, you will wake up one day and gazette the sittings of this House to be held elsewhere. We fight here on this floor. Everybody knows where the precincts of the County Assembly of Nyamira are. The governor gazetted at the beginning of the term. And Chairman, I want you to be bold. You are here to serve the interests of the people of the Greater County of Nyamira, not the impeached Speaker, not the governor, not I as Senator. But look at the interests of the people of Nyamira, Mr. Speaker. If you have been impeached, you know it. We did impeach the governor for Meru. And she went to court and got an order. And we respected that order, Mr. Speaker. Once the court vacated the order, she left office, Mr. Speaker. In the case of Nyamira, Mr. Speaker, and I'm sorry that even the COG is unable to grasp very mundane issues of law. The Speaker was impeached on the 24th of October. A resolution of the Assembly was brought before the committee, Mr. Speaker. Subsequent to the impeachment, the Speaker who was impeached moved to court, filed a case, petition number 1, before the Labor and Employment Court in Kisii, and sought conservatory orders from the court. The court heard him and made a pronouncement, Mr. Speaker, and said, we will not give you conservatory orders, let serve and come back. Why is my chairman, senator, feeling jittery in just coming to report to the House that this is the situation, Mr. Speaker? If you go to court, you seek to get a conservatory order on a resolution passed by a House, and you don't get a conservatory order, what is the effect, Mr. Speaker? The effect is that you remain impeached. If you get an order from court, everybody, I included, will be bound by that decision, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, Mr. Speaker, this is a matter that if the chair feels it's too hot for him, it can come back to the plenary of the committee of the whole, Mr. Speaker. But one way or another, Mr. Speaker, the people of Nyamira want to see how the Senate of the Republic of Kenya will pronounce itself, Mr. Speaker. And that's what I'm asking for from my colleague senators, that let us be a house that can be looked to by county assembly or by the executives. When we have issues, they can approach us.
Okay, thank you. I think that's, you have been done very well. Chair, you made a commitment to give a progressive report next week. So let's wait for your report next week on Thursday.
My colleague explained to the gallery. He was with us actually in that meeting when we were meeting the members. A matter in the court, this committee does not have the jurisdiction to rule on matters in court. So what will happen is we are writing a report and we are seeking a legal interpretation from our legal department on how best we can approach this matter. And I've already said and pronounced here that we are going to bring our report on Thursday next week. So I think my colleague should be able to be patient with us, because what's happening in that place is so wild. The former speaker was moved forcefully.
Point of information. Yes. Do you want to be informed by Senator Mungo? Senator Julius Mungo?
I would like to inform my colleague that you can actually deal with a matter in court by reconciling the warring sections, and once they agree together, they pull that thing out. So the factions in Kisii can do it outside court and go to court and withdraw that case. I dealt with one today, which is going to benefit warring people.
The issue is in Nyamira County. Nyamira. So, Senator Kenywa.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii. Nataka kuunga mkono kuchangia kwa taarifa iliyoletwa na seneta wa kutoka Isiolo Dulo kuhusu maafisa wakuu wa idara tofauti katika gatuzi ya Isiolo. Bwana Spika, ni jambo la kuvunja moyo sana ikiwa kaunti ya Isiolo ama gatuzi ya Isiolo itakaa kwa muda wa zaidi ya miezi miwili bila maafisa wakuu. Na maafisa hao wakuu ndio wanashughulikia utendakazi katika gatuzi ile kila siku, Bwana Spika. Na ni vizuri hasa gavana anayehusika, kwa sababu yule gavana, Bwana Spika, tumejua amekuwa kila wakati shida katika ile gatuzi, na kwa hivyo atilie maneno haya mkazo, kwa sababu Bwana Spika, sisi hatuwezi kuwa tunaleta hapa mgao wa pesa, tunakushughulikia mgao wa pesa, lakini ukifika Isiolo unapata maafisa wakuu ambao wanapaswa kuhusika, Bwana Spika, hawajapewa, hatuna maafisa wale ambao wanapaswa kushughulikia lile jambo. Kwa hivyo inaonekana ile gatuzi itakuwa ikibaki nyuma, ama kutakuwa na shida nyingi baadaye, ama pengine governor ana mpango fulani wa kufuja pesa za gatuzi ya Isiolo. Bwana Spika, kwa upande wa Nyamira, ni sijui pengine kwa sababu mimi sikuweza kufuatilia katika walipokuwa hapa katika seneti, lakini niliona katika runinga, Bwana Spika. Yale niliona ni ya kwamba walisema ya kwamba ati kikao kimoja cha bunge ya Nyamira wanaita bunge mashinani, Bwana Spika. Nikashindwa, waliiga vile ambavyo tunafanya sisi kama seneti, lakini waliiga visivyo, Bwana Spika. Waliiga visivyo, kwa sababu hawezi ukagawanya bunge la Nyamira kukawa na bunge mbili. Bwana Spika, hilo si jambo la kufikiria. Namuomba mwenyekiti wa kamati ya ugatuzi katika seneti hii, Bwana Spika, kwa sababu nilikuwa mwenyekiti kwa muda wa miaka miwili muhula uliopita, lakini Bwana Spika, hatungekubali jambo kama hili litendeke. Tutakuwa tumezembea katika kazi yetu kama seneti. Tuache kumwekelea mzigo seneta wa sehemu ile peke yake. Tunapaswa sisi kusimama wima, tusimame kidete, tuseme hiyo haiwezekani, Bwana Spika. Hatuwezi kukubali kaunti ya Nyamira ikiwa imegawanyika mara mbili, Bwana Spika. Sisi tutalaumiwa, sio tu na watu wa Nyamira, tutalaumiwa katika Jamhuri ya Kenya, kwa sababu kazi yetu kubwa ni kutetea na kulinda gatuzi zetu, Bwana Spika. Na sisi tayari tumelemewa ikiwa kaunti moja atinasikia kuna wengine wameketi sehemu fulani, wengine wameketi huko. Pesa ambazo tumetuma katika gatuzi ya Nyamira kwa bunge, Bwana Spika, zinalipwa nani sasa? Tunapaswa kujiuliza hilo swali gumu, na tusingoje ati mahakama ituambie vitakavyofanya. Hii ni kazi yetu, tunapaswa tuifanye kwa uwerendi na kwa ustadi, Bwana Spika, bila kuogopa. Bwana Spika, nashukuru kwa kunipa fursa hiyo. Asante.
ili bunge inaweza amua uende kwa hiyo kamati kama mchezaji wa kulipwa. Senator Sifuna Edwin.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I came in when the debate was midway. I was at a funeral service. But I've caught some of the sentiments that have gone before me and the statement that was brought by the Senator for Isiolo. Honorable Speaker, some of the things when you hear, the things that are happening in our counties, they just infuriate you. It's impossible to believe that some county governors are running these institutions like they are personal fiefdoms. I personally encountered this situation of Nyamira that the Senator has spoken to. Honorable Speaker, I almost lost my mind. I couldn't believe it. He was there. I could not believe that a section of MCAs, in fact, we were told there were only 12 MCAs. And I personally have the list of those MCAs. I was shocked to find a member of ODM among those 12 MCAs. She's nominated by ODM. And it is a situation that is unacceptable. The bulk of the 12 MCAs are from the governor's own party. They're from the governor's own party. So he has set up a parallel house and he decides, because those are the people who come from his party, he's going to recognize only those ones who are from his party and they are sitting under a tree somewhere. He takes his budgets to them. Every communication is processed through them. When we're asking them, okay, so how many clerks do you have? Because there's only one clerk. There's a gazetted place where the assembly is supposed to sit. It's absolutely unbelievable. But I don't want to be persuaded. I cannot be persuaded that there's nothing this house can do. We are the ones with powers. We should stop all resources going to Nyamira until that issue is resolved, because we are presiding over an illegality. This house has options. Let us not appear like we are helpless. By the time that report comes, the chair of the devolution committee, I can see you smiling. If your report does not recommend stoppage of money to Nyamira, we will not accept it. We are preempting the work of that committee already. And don't tell us we don't have things we can do. In my own capacity as SG of ODM, I have made my members aware in Nyamira that we will not tolerate a situation where they are participating in an obvious illegality. Yes, I have said it. I have spoken to the leadership of WIPA. The SG of WIPA is here, Senator Shakila. Tell the members of WIPA who are participating in that kangaroo assembly that there will be consequences for you participating in an illegality. We as ODM are the believers, the founders, the people who brought devolution around. If we are fighting here for resources, every time Baba is saying we must give counties more money, we cannot be part of those shenanigans where instead of devolution coming to help the people of Nyamira, people are playing those small games there in the village and you have two parallel assemblies. It will not be accepted. This will not be the Senate that presides over such an illegality. Honorable Speaker, we know for a fact, when we sat with those MCAs, we were asking them, are there court orders? Are there any court orders on which these people are riding to, validate these sittings under a tree? And there is none. There is none. That's what I'm telling this house, that it is a shameful situation. And especially because we as believers in devolution, and we are the people who give these county assemblies money. Honorable Speaker, just yesterday, we were passing a law here as the Senate to give county assemblies financial independence. So we have passed that law, and it is because MCAs have been asking us, and it was brought by the Speaker, yourself, the Honorable Kathuri Murungi, the Senator for Meru. So, Speaker, if we tell Treasury to send money to Nyamira County Assembly, which assembly is the money going to? Which assembly is the money going to? So now that there is that financial autonomy, the next move should be this Senate to stop any disbursements to the county government of Nyamira and the county assembly of Nyamira, because we cannot tolerate such a situation. We look so bad as a country that such a situation can continue for long. And Senator for Nyamira, you can count on me as your SG, as your colleague in this house, to ensure that we bring order to Nyamira. We must bring order to Nyamira. This is untenable. It is unacceptable. It is untenable. I am ready to make enemies. I am ready to make enemies. Mr. Speaker, if you know that nominated the MCA, when I call her, she tries to speak to me in our native language so that I can feel pity for her. I am ready to be, I'm ready to make enemies. But in the defense of devolution, there will be no tribe, there will be no party, there will be no nothing. We cannot have a situation such as that. And Senator for Nyamira, Senior Omogeni, please understand that I will deliver the entire machinery of ODM to ensure that we restore order. And don't be scared by the chair of devolution. There is something we can do and we will do it. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Senators, the statement hour. We are just 8 minutes to the statement hour, the end of the statement hour, and then given 2 minutes each. Clerk, 2 minutes each to the members. Senator Kalenyamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The month of April is Autism Awareness Month, and this statement by Senator Methu cannot be more timely. Mr. Speaker, the prevalence of autistic children in the recent past has skyrocketed, not just in Kenya, but globally. I know there is all sorts of theory attributing this prevalence that have been attributed to the rise of autism in the country and in the world. I don't want to dwell on that, Mr. Speaker, but there are challenges that the autistic community have to go through in the country and specifically in Kenya because of, for example, a lack of official data. We don't have a registry of autistic children in this country, and if the government was to intervene, what numbers are they going to be operating for? Mr. Speaker, we would want specialized approach to assist parents and families living with autism. We would like the government to intervene and have specialized training for the teachers and medical practitioners. We want the families of who are raising autistic children to know these are normal children and to accept them as they are. We need to have awareness to eliminate stigma. Mr. Speaker, we want families assisted, and we want to take this situation seriously. We are happy that this week the Senate has passed the People Living with Disabilities Bill, which recognizes autism as a mainstream disability.
Give her 30 seconds to finish that. 30 seconds to.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So let me conclude by saying we need a mainstream department that will, given the numbers and the prevalent and the rising numbers, we need a department to deal with autism in the country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Last but not the least, Senator Mazayo, Minority Rinda. Yeah, okay. Senator based on this. Maybe the rest are not interested to speak to this. We have 2 minutes. Senator Gloria or Senator Chalgay. Next one.
Order number 8, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations and the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on a petition to the Senate by Mr. Laban Omusundi concerning restraining county governments from hiring law firms to represent them in court cases. Resumption of debate, question to be put.
This, I wanted to ascertain whether we have numbers. I'm told we don't have the numbers. So we defer this order to the next sitting. Next order. Honorable Senators, looking at the business before us, from order number 9 to 14, we defer those divisions. We don't have numbers. We go to the next one after 14. Clerk.
Order number 15, motion. Report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on its inquiry into personal security concerns raised by Honorable Philomena Kapkori, Deputy Governor, Nzoia County.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the report for the Committee of Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on personal security concerns raised by Hon. Philomena Kapkori, Deputy Governor of Nzoia. Honorable Speaker, at the sitting of second
Chair, devolution, approach the table for some guidance.
Sorry?
Approach the table.
Honorable Speaker, I want to present the report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations concerning the issues raised by Honorable Philomena Kapkori, Deputy Governor, Nzoia, that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on its inquiry into the allegations of personal security concerns raised by Honorable Philomena Kapkori, Deputy Governor, Nzoia County, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 1st October 2024. Honorable Speaker, at this sitting, the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations received a copy of letter reference CGTN/DVGN Volume 2, dated 1st November 2023 from the Deputy Governor of Nzoia, Hon. Philomena, addressed to the Deputy President and copied to the Speaker of the Senate. The Speaker then referred the matter to the Committee on Urgent Considerations. In the same letter, the Deputy Governor brought the following issues to attention: that on 26 September 2023, while on official duty in the United States, USA, she received information from concerned residents of Nzoia on the same unfortunate happenings, touching on her security, posing danger of her life. That in the said period, social media platforms were awash with the threats and abuses leveled against her by the communication staff attached to the county governor, Hon. George Natabea. Her efforts to reach the governor via phone calls were futile. That upon returning to the country on 2nd October, she reported the threat to the Director of Investigation, DCI, the National Cohesion and Integration, NCIC, Mutembei Police Station, but no arrest or progress was made. She further wrote to the governor, informing him that she was unable to return to work in the county due to her compromised security. That after writing to the governor, the said staff of the governor continued with the threats and the threat, but the governor never made a response to this. That additionally, the governor himself continued making informative statements which further threatened her security and caused a spike in animosity between her, against her community, and that of the governor. She further revealed that the difficult conditions she was working under included lack of funding for her office that was impacting on her ability to execute her duties as a deputy governor, being denied her official residence, which has been converted to a campaign center, and also the First Lady's office being sidelined on all decisions and most functions in the county, being denied most of legitimate payment to her office and generous mistreatment and humiliating, and that she has been subjected to. She concluded that by appealing to the Deputy President for an opportunity to meet with him in order to discuss the way forward, the issues mentioned for a healthy working relations with the governor and focus on service delivery, there was no response. Honourable Speaker, at the sitting of the committee discussed the issues raised in the letter and resolved to invite the Deputy Governor. The committee sent invitation successfully, held meetings with the following stakeholders: the Deputy Governor of Nzoia, the National Cohesion and Integration, the Governor of Nzoia. The committee also was not able to meet the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, the Inspector General, and the Director of Investigation, DCI. The Cabinet Secretary was invited on 2 occasions. However, he conveyed his apologies and requested the committee to reschedule the meeting to a more appropriate date when he will be available. Further, the committee visited Nzoia on 2nd March 2024 and held a meeting with the Governor and the Deputy Governor with the aim of mediation and resolving the issue. The committee later paid a courteous call to the Assembly of Nzoia. Honourable Speaker, upon receipt of the stakeholders' submission, the committee did an in-depth analysis, and based on the deliberation, the committee has made various observations and recommendations which are set out in Chapter 4 and Chapter 5 of this report, respectively. Honourable Speaker, I wish to inform the Senate that the committee successfully resolved the issues causing the rift between the governor and the deputy governor, mediated the 2 parties, and restored good working relations between them. Honourable Speaker, having said that, the matter has again reverted back, has again cropped up, and currently the deputy governor is still having same problems, and she has decided to live on her own and mind her business without any much alteration. Honourable Speaker, may I take this opportunity to commend the members of the committee for this devotion and commitment to duty, which led to the successful consideration of the issue raised by the Deputy Governor of Nzoia. I also wish to thank the Office of the Speaker and the Clerk of the Senate for the support they gave. Honourable Speaker, it is now my pleasant duty to move this motion, and I request that the House adopts the report. And I call upon Senator Cherargei to second the motion. Thank you.
Chairperson, who is the second? Cherargei. Okay, go ahead, Cherargei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, as I rise to second this motion on the report on the Standing Committee on Devolution on the security, interpersonal security by Honorable Philomena Kapkori, Deputy Governor of Nzoia County. Mr. Speaker, sir, as I rise to second, I want to commend the committee chair, Senator Mohammed Abbas, for steering this committee. I know he has come under a lot of challenges today afternoon over Nyamira County Assembly divisions. In fact, Mr. Speaker, sir, the most important committee in this House, apart from any other committee, should be the Committee of Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations. Because under Article 96, the role of the Senate is to protect and promote the interests of counties. The most highly sought after committee should be devolution. And of course, Public Accounts Committee and the rest can follow suit. I don't know which committee was Senator Metu taken, but maybe when he will be submitting, he will inform the House which committee is serving with a lot of distinction. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, I've read the report. I am happy that the committee tried the way of doing it in kienyeji, or localizing and bringing them together in last year, 2024. Mr. Speaker, because the county cannot function without a deputy governor. The reading of article election of governor and deputy governor is Article 180. In fact, the deputy governor and governor are conjoined like CMS twins. It is like the president and the deputy president, because you elect them on the same ballot paper, but they are not co-governor, Mr. Speaker. So the point is that the law envisages that there should be no vacuum in the office of the governor, in case, God forbid, the governor dies in office or incapacitated or incarcerated as the provisions of Article 182 on the vacancy of the deputy office of the governor. So, Speaker, we are having problems with deputy governors. You remember the deputy governor of Siaya was brought here. Fortunately, the House ensured he survived, Mr. Speaker, and we are told he has not accessed his office up to date. Because when we failed to impeach him as a House of the Senate, the deputy governor of Siaya is yet to resume or assume his duties, even access to the salary functionality of the office. But the intention of the drafters of the Constitution is that there should be no vacuum, because existence of vacuum in such office as the governor creates a lot of, even peace and instability becomes a problem in that county, Mr. Speaker. Even look at the deputy governor, Mr. Speaker, where, you know, the problem we have in this country is most governors see their deputies as a threat to their seats. And that is why they want deputy governors to operate in the principle called monkey principle, Mr. Speaker. Hear nothing, see nothing, say nothing. And that is what the principal governors would want. If a deputy governor rises and opposes, and you have seen, and I want to challenge the the devolution chair to look even the issue of Siaya, Mr. Speaker. Even you see the Kisii, when we impeached the former Deputy Governor Robert Monda in this House, Mr. Speaker, another deputy was being appointed. Remember Meru, they have nominated, Mr. Speaker, a new deputy governor who is the deputy vice chairperson of IEBC selection panel. So the deputy governors having a challenge. My only advice, because I remember, Mr. Speaker, we were with you in the last session, there was even a legislative proposal that deputy governors should be given jobs. But I want to advise deputy governors, just be a deputy. If you want, just read a newspaper, come to the office, read a newspaper, get the directions of the governor and go home. So that is what, because you are principal assistant, Mr. Speaker, the standing orders does not allow point of order during the seconding of a motion. It doesn't allow unless...
Gloria, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, is it in order for the Honorable Senator Cherargei, in this upper house that protects devolution, to allude that deputy governors have got no work and should therefore just come to office to read newspapers if they want to survive their terms? Is it in order, Mr. Speaker? Because this is the upper house in charge of devolution in its entirety, including the deputy governor's roles in devolution.
Senator Cherargei, you can proceed.
Mr. Speaker, you know, the former governor of Uasin Gishu and the current senator used to have a deputy governor, and I hope when you will be contributing, Senator Gloria, by your direction should be present in the House, so that he can know that the deputy governor should remain a deputy governor. You are just a principal assistant. So what I'm saying is a statement of fact, unless the governor gives you to be a CCM in charge of roads, or in charge of anything. I'm just stating a fact. And if you are a deputy governor, and I want to dare friends of Senator Oroba, if he has a friend who is a deputy governor, there is no in the law that has provided for responsibilities and functions of a deputy governor as being read in Article 180 in election of a deputy governor and governor. They are not they should just remain as principal assistant. Unless, and my advice is, there was a proposal, Mr. Speaker, that we intervene, and it is unanswered, that we should give responsibility to deputy governors, which we didn't, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Cherargei, would you like to be informed by Senator Methu?
Mr. Speaker, since he has not knew and deaf for some time, he might have grown wise after having his deaf.
Maybe to enrich the thinking of my senior brother, Senator Cherargei, the architecture of our constitution as it is now, yes, a deputy governor is a spare wheel that will only be useful when the main wheel of the car is not functional. There is no function that has been adduced to the office of the deputy governor now. Correct. So a deputy governor is just a principal assistant. Nothing more, nothing less.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. I think Senator Metu, Mr. Speaker, has grown wise after growing beard, but I want to say one of these fine days, Mr. Speaker, especially on Thursdays, we should do an arambe so that we can come up on pay bill on how we can raise for him to get shaved by a barber. You know, the way it has grown long, it needs to be shaved, Mr. Speaker. And I thank you for that information. I think that is what we are just saying, Mr. Speaker, that the deputy governor should remain a deputy governor. Finally, Mr. Speaker, so that I allow colleagues to say on this, is, as they say, vitu kwa ground is different. As I talk to you, the governor of Nzoia, Governor George Natembea, and Deputy Governor Mary Kapkori Philomena Kapkori don't see eye to eye. So things have gone back to default settings again. Mr. Speaker, you know why? Because the current governor of Nzoia, Governor George Natembea, this is a side effect of his tribal undertones. If you see most of his videos, he is creating tribal rift in Nzoia. Yet Nzoia, Mr. Speaker, is a cosmopolitan county. And this is the undertones of, Mr. Speaker, of tribalism that the governor is perpetuating in Nzoia, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I want to challenge the devolution committee that you need also to ensure that the governor of Nzoia is held to accountable in some of the issues that he's saying in public. And I think, Mr. Speaker, the colleague leaders who are female should come out strongly, because this is another form of femicide. This is another form of femicide, Mr. Speaker. Because if you find a governor is undermining a lady or a woman who is a deputy governor, that governor is promoting femicide in our country. And therefore, the little I have seen governors who are deputy governors as women, they have enjoyed cordial working relationship, Mr. Speaker. But when you get a governor like George Natembea undermining the operation of his deputy governor, Dr. Philomena Kapkori, is also a form of femicide. It is also a form of women harassment. And it is endangering. And I hope the Senator, the Senator Oroba is listening to this. It's endangering women leadership. It's promoting femicide against women. Because if you are undermining, and any man who undermines a woman is not a man. Let me say this with a lot of tremendous respect. It's not a womanizer, I think. I think Senator. I don't know whether Senator Westbrook, that's not a womanizer. A womanizer has a different thing. Has a different meaning. Mr. Speaker, you cannot define it that way, Mr. Speaker. I think that's the harsh way of defining. Mr. Speaker, any man who undermines a lady or a woman is not a womanizer, is a threat to womanhood. Mr. Speaker, because this country, we are trying to encourage women leadership. And Mr. Speaker, you saw that there were 2 women leaders from your county, Mr. Speaker, and I wish to have your attention, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and therefore the governor of Natembea must be called out. And I want to advise Governor Natembea for free. You know, his work is to ensure there is proper development in Nzoia. As we talk today, I led a delegation of ICT and we visited Nzoia late last year. The collection of revenue in Nzoia, Mr. Speaker, is very pathetic and poor, where money is getting into the individual pockets, Mr. Speaker. The roads are very pathetic in Nzoia. The public service in Nzoia has been weaponized and tribalized for political expediency by the governor, Mr. Speaker. I have seen even he is fighting the women representative by the name Lillian Sioi, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, the governor should accommodate women leadership. The only thing he can do, we are not saying Governor Natembea should babysit his deputy. We are saying allow the office of the deputy governor to operate optimally, Mr. Speaker. And we should encourage women leadership. And I want to ask women also in leadership, they should be responsible. I saw 2 women leaders from your county, Mr. Speaker, and I hope you'll find time during this weekend to host them for a cup of tea and guide them. Mheshimiwa Omira and Mheshimiwa Senator Fala Deko, I know the Speaker of the National Assembly has meted out serious punishment against them. But we want to ask women leaders also in position of power to be responsible, to be respectful, to ensure that they carry themselves with dignity. So, Speaker, we want to ask to be responsible. Is there anything out of order to ask people to be responsible?
No, I don't think so, but let's hear what she has to say. What's your point of order, Senator Gloria?
Mr. Speaker, I appreciate what Cherargei is trying to do here, but Mr. Speaker, Senator Cherargei is out of order because he's actually casting aspersions. He's alluding to the fact that some of the women legislators and women leaders are actually out of order, disrespectful and all that. Standing order number, not 105, 105 is statement of facts. The standing order, nowadays I know the standing orders. The standing order of casting aspersion on a fellow senator or leader, Mr. Speaker, that is the one I'm standing on. And Mr. Speaker, I want to advise Senator Cherargei, as he executes his point, although I find it very suspicious that he's trying to discuss two legislators who don't even belong in this house, and without their presence, we might not even know what transpired. We are all waiting to hear through the Powers and Privilege Committee, Mr. Speaker, which I have had experience with. So, Mr. Speaker, I would really want Senator Cherargei to tread carefully and, if possible, just avoid going that direction, because unless he is sitting in that Powers and Privilege and he has facts, Mr. Speaker, we are all still waiting to see that report so that we can know what transpired. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, under principles of evidence, Mr. Speaker, under principles of evidence and law of evidence, there is what we call judicial notice by public. What the Speaker of National Assembly pronounces in the public domain, that Senator Falhada, as the access to Parliament has been denied for 90 days. There is judicial, and I am asking women to be women in leadership, to be responsible, to be respectful. Even men and young men like Senator Eddie should also act responsibly and respectfully, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, women must be responsible and respectful. And I hope, Mr. Speaker, when during the weekend, you should invite the two Weshimiwas to your house and ensure there are elders from Garissa to sit them down and teach these women how to lead with a lot of respect. Mr. Speaker, finally, as I finish to second, Mr. Speaker, can Senator, I be protected from harassment?
No, Senator Gloria, you already stood on a point of order.
Mr. Speaker,
you cannot speak on the same matter twice.
Can I be protected from harassment?
But you've already spoken on your point of order. And we have listened to you. So let Senator Cherargei conclude.
And I have agreed to her advice. And that is why I'm saying all leaders, including women, should be responsible, including Senator Eddie, who is a young man, including presidential candidates, Senator Okia Omtata, should act responsibly. That's what I'm just saying. And as our norms and culture, I'm requesting you as the Speaker of this House to convene the meeting with two Weshimiwas and elders from Garissa to ensure that matter is resolved amicably. And that is the leadership we want. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the issue of Governor Mutembei must be dealt with precisely. Governor Mutembei should tread carefully. We know Mount Yelgon, Mr. Speaker. There has been conflict. We cannot allow Governor Mutembei, and I want to challenge NCIC to look into the inflammatory statements of incitement that the governor is making. I know he wants to score points by attacking the president. And I can assure you before the end of this year, from the way he's operating with arrogance and promoting tribalism in Nzoia, he will be impeached. And we shall come and confirm that he's impeached like the former Governor Kawira. And you know he's operating like the same Governor Kawira, ensured the promoted strife and disorder in Meru. And that is what sent her home. I can see Governor Mutembei is using the same strategy of bringing strife and division within Nzoia. Some of us have relatives in Nzoia. Nzoia is a cosmopolitan county. He should only stick to matters of county. He should stop playing national politics, Mr. Speaker, where they need for, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I want to ask Intergovernmental Technical Committee to assist this Deputy Governor, Mr. Speaker, to ensure the deputy governor has access. These are women leaders that should be respected, Mr. Speaker. If you want to lead this country, if you are leading a county and you are undermining a woman, Mr. Speaker, and then you go and give them 2 kilos of maize seeds with a lot of discrimination, issuing fertilizers, Mr. Speaker, I'm told he is even issuing fertilizers based on tribe, fertilizers and seeds that are being given in Nzoia, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, as I finished in seconding this motion, I want to say and congratulate the committee for the job well done. I hope, Mr. Speaker, the Intergovernmental Relations, the Devolution Committee will continue giving view of this matter. The House should give view on this matter. Let us also ensure the Deputy Governor of Siaya also has unlimited access to his office and he functions. Let us ensure the Deputy Governor in Nzoia issues. Deputy Governor Monda was impeached, Mr. Speaker. So with us, a lot of comments, Mr. Speaker. And I want to say finally, Mr. Speaker, this country is a very critical country. We should protect our children as per Article 53, Mr. Speaker. What we saw in Nakuru is that, Mr. Speaker, I want to advise the country. You know, Article 53 says we should not exploit our children. And it is unfortunate that some politicians, Mr. Speaker, are using our children to perpetuate political contests, Mr. Speaker. What we are seeing in Echoes of War, directed by former Senator of Kakamega, is just using our children to do political contests, Mr. Speaker. If you look at circular number 14 of 2018, the TSC directed that, and teacher Mwalimu Wakoli, Senator, is here, that somebody who is not a teacher should not be allowed to access to the school. The leadership and management of Butere girls must be called to order. The TSC must be called to. How can you allow a stranger to enter into school to train children without being a TSC, Mr. Speaker? I am challenging. It's very unfortunate and unconstitutional, Mr. Speaker. We should be ensured that even as we allow play, Mr. Speaker, for us who went to good schools at Kapsabet Boys, we should use, Mr. Speaker, to further cohesiveness, stability in our schools. With those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to second.
Honourable Senators, I propose the question that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on its inquiry into the allegations on personal security concerns raised by Honourable Philomena Kapkori, Deputy Governor, Nzoia County, laid on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 1st October 2024. Honourable Senators, we'll now open for contribution. Gloria? Yes, Senator Gloria.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity and for not allowing Senator Eddie Okech to direct you on who should speak, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to add my voice on this and on matters that touch on devolution, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know, there's been a lot of things that have been going on in our counties. And to be honest, sometimes I see senators coming here trying to highlight us and, you know, inform the public of all the monkey business that is going down in some of the counties, Mr. Speaker. And sometimes as senators, just because we don't come from Isiolo, or we don't come from Nyamira County, or we don't come from Meru County, or whichever county that has been having all these issues, Mr. Speaker, sometimes you see that some of the senators, they feel as though it is not a matter that concerns them, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, as I have said before in this House, today it might be Nyamira County, but tomorrow it might be that county that you are representing here, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have been listening to the Chair of Devolution as he gave this report, Mr. Speaker, and I've also been listening to the Chair of Devolution as he tried to inform the House on matters Nyamira, Mr. Speaker. And I really wanted to throw in my words in terms of a point of information, Mr. Speaker. You know, I come from Kisii County. We are neighbors with Nyamira County. And in fact, we always joke that Nyamira County, when they grow up, they will become Kisii County, Mr. Speaker. So we are following closely what is happening there. And Mr. Speaker, I'm always of the opinion that if there is one committee that should be resourced and that should be supported 150% by this House, Mr. Speaker, it is the Devolution Committee. Because before we have all these disputes of whether it is a speaker who's being impeached, a deputy governor being kicked out, or a governor being impeached, Mr. Speaker, I always ask, what has the devolution committee done? When we were hearing rumors of all sorts of things happening in Nyamira, because there is a lot of craziness down there, Mr. Speaker, I always ask, where is the devolution committee in this? Are they still sitting in Bunge Towers conducting meetings? Or have they decided, let us go down to Nyamira County and try to understand really, if there are two sections of the county assembly, how did that even happen, Mr. Speaker? To sit here and be informed that there is a clerk of a county assembly that has put out a gazette notice, and this gazette notice is now contradicting whatever it is that we are, defending here as devolution, Mr. Speaker. I have been on record talking about rogue agents in the county assemblies, in both houses, also in the National Assembly and in the Senate, Mr. Speaker. And it is just now creeping into the county assemblies, where now you have people who feel that they have more control over the stipulated procedures of the county assembly, Mr. Speaker. For me, I think, as much as the chair of the devolution committee has come here to give us the report and to inform us on what is happening, Mr. Speaker, I think this committee should actually be giving us monthly updates on what's going on in these county assemblies, Mr. Speaker. I have heard Senator Dulo repeatedly bring statements after statements on how their governor is unavailable. Nobody knows where the governor of Isiolo is, Mr. Speaker. And this governor has been summoned in different committees, has never appeared. And I always ask myself, we have a devolution committee. How can this devolution committee be empowered further so that some of the problems we are seeing in the county assembly can actually be dealt with by the devolution committee, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, as my chair of Labour stood to try and give some information to the chair of the devolution committee, today I learned something very important when we were executing a petition in the Labour committee. One of the senior legal counsels who was entangled in that petition was trying to argue that we cannot dispense a matter in the committee that is active in court, Mr. Speaker. I learned that under Standing Order 98 of the Senate rules, in fact, if the matter touches on human rights and the public interest, that you can actually go ahead and prosecute the matter at the committee level without prejudicing whatever is happening in court, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in light of that, I'm also just wondering then, why is this issue of Nyamira County being dealt with as if we do not have the powers as a Senate, as the upper house in charge of devolution, to step in and put in really strict measures, including writing to Treasury to withhold all the monies that are being sent to Nyamira County, Mr. Speaker? So, Mr. Speaker, as I stand to add my voice on this, I also wanted to notify this House, and it is unfortunate that most of the time when we are discussing devolution matters, Mr. Speaker, there are barely enough chairs who are present. And you know, Mr. Speaker, if I could get your attention on this, because I know you also sit in the Senate Business Committee, maybe Senator Senior Justice Mazayo would allow you to pay attention to my points, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to make an appeal to this House that when the liaison committee is actually deliberating on how we are going to spend resources, sincerely speaking, there are some committees that require enough resources to execute the matters that are happening, and devolution is one of those committees. I am glad that despite the back and forth that is going on in the House, the chair of devolution has decided to remain level-headed and to execute his mandate with regards to the issues of Nyamira County and all other counties that they are facing, Mr. Speaker. And I want to also say that, you know, today we sit in this House as senators, and we are here deliberating on how we are protecting devolution and all these issues that are coming up in the county assemblies, Mr. Speaker. But I want to say that some of us have ambitions, Mr. Speaker. Some of us have ambitions to vie for seats as high as gubernatorial seats, Mr. Speaker. So even as we are here in a learning curve of what is happening in the county assemblies, again, I am reminded time and time again that we should legislate understanding that we are not going to be in Senate forever. Some of us, we are going to leave this house and we are going to go to the county assemblies as governors. Mr. Speaker, you can see there are some governors sitting in this house like Governor Mandago.
Senator Gloria.
Yes.
Would you like to be informed by Senator Omtata?
Mr. Speaker, I want to respectfully decline. Because, you know, Mr. Speaker, Senator Omtata informed me and guided me in a way, and then I found myself reading prescribed apologies in this house. So I would like to respectfully decline. Mr. Speaker, one thing that I want to say.
What is your point of order, Senator Omtata?
Could Senator Gloria just substantiate her claim that I misled? I stand on standing order number 105. I would like to know, I would like her to substantiate the fact that she claims I misled her to a point where she fried in her own fat. Can she come substantiate that?
Senator Gloria, are you in a position to substantiate the matter you have brought
Before
to this
I
house
respond to that,
Senator Omtata misled you?
Before I respond to that, Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether you have observed something.
I have observed it.
Have you observed it? Because, you know, we had Senator Cherargei just minutes ago on the floor of the House saying how women leaders must be mentored, send them to elderly men to talk to them, all sorts of things of casting aspersion. And I just heard Senator Omtata. You know, I'm short of thinking that he's a senior counsel. With all his age, Mr. Speaker, all those years of experience, whether outside Parliament, I've heard him speak in a language that I cannot even imagine that is a person that is advising the youth out here, Mr. Speaker, so that we don't have this house appear as a patriarchal house, Mr. Speaker. Kindly, could you give a ruling on that? Because that's unparliamentary language that he has used.
Yeah, Senator Gloria, I hope you're referring to what I heard Senator Omtata say.
Yes, I don't want to...
Are we on the same page?
I cannot even, you know, I'm recently now a mother of 2 boys. I cannot even say those words, Mr. Speaker.
I don't, Senator Gloria.
I think he should.
Senator Gloria, if we are referring to the statement by Senator Omtata referring to you having found yourself frying in your own fat, was that your statement? I think that's an idiom, a figure of speech.
So, Mr. Speaker,
yes.
With all due respect and with respect to the chair and this house, why are there double standards when women in this house put out idioms, me being one of them? Just yesterday I put out an idiom here, or a metaphor. I'm sure you heard me saying mpango wa kando. And I was directed very quickly.
Senator Gloria.
I was directed very quickly to withdraw because it's unparliamentary.
Senator
and
Gloria,
today Omtata is being told that these are idioms and metaphors.
Senator Gloria, let us understand each other. Mpango ya mkando is not even in the dictionary. It cannot be a parliamentary language.
Mr. Speaker.
So,
Mr. Speaker,
it's 2 different things.
Mr. Speaker, I don't want to go back and forth with my chair, and I respect that chair. However, it also depends on which dictionary you're referring to, Mr. Speaker. We are in 2025. There are various dictionaries. However, I will respond to Senator Omtata.
Senator Cherargei, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I rise under Article 27 on equality and freedom from discrimination. Did you hear Senator Orwoba, who professes to be fair and pro bono and discrimination, referring to the ageism of Senator Okiya Omtata, saying that with his age, he is discriminating Senator Okiya Omtata based on age? Is it in order to violate Article 27 of the Constitution of Kenya, where he is talking discrimination based on age? Yes. Mr. Speaker, is it in order, can she withdraw and apologize to the House for undermining the integrity of ageism and the wise men of this House, Mr. Speaker, including Senator? And remember, this is a presidential candidate. He is not a chairman of Nyumba Kumi, Mr. Speaker. And even the manhood of the Senate is being threatened.
Senator Gloria, your response.
Mr. Speaker, luckily, I am on a learning curve and I'm taking my standing orders very seriously. I want to refer the Honorable Senator Cherargei to Standing Order 105 on the responsibility for statement of fact, Mr. Speaker. Isn't it a fact that indeed Senator Omtata is my senior? And isn't it a fact that indeed he is not 10 years old or 3 years old, Mr. Speaker? In fact, maybe, Mr. Speaker, I am mistaken, but Senator Omtata is indeed, as you have said, a senior elder. Senator Cherargei has actually said that. So where is the discrimination? That is a statement of fact. Mr. Speaker, I also want to draw to your attention that Senator Cherargei stood at the floor of the House and told you and asked you that if you can bring the elders to advise the two ladies, the leaders who had an altercation here in Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I don't get it. I think I'm being digressed, and I wanted to finish. I want to finish my point of thought.
Can we go back to the point
Kindly.
of order raised by Senator Omtata in terms of substantiating your claims?
Mr. Speaker, because I am wiser, and I want, if I have to substantiate at the floor of the House, I also have to give the context of the conversation. And I don't think that is a conversation that I want to bring to the floor of the House. So therefore, in light of that, I will withdraw and apologize to Senator Omtata because I do not want to let the public know on what Senator Omtata was advising me on. That would be, I would not be doing justice to this very prestigious House, Mr. Speaker. So I withdraw and apologize.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude on my points of devolution, Mr. Speaker. I was saying, as I conclude, that as we are deliberating at this floor, we need to remember that we are not here permanently. As I was saying, some of us have got ambitions, and some of us, beyond Senate, we are seeing ourselves as governors of various county assemblies, Mr. Speaker. And I was saying that we have a governor here, sitting in the House today, Senator Governor, Mr. Speaker, Senator Mandago. And I remember very well when he was a governor, there are some of the pieces of legislations and reports that he was really against that were coming from the floor of this House, Mr. Speaker. Now he's finding himself as a senator and very conflicted in some matters. And that's why I want to say, Mr. Speaker, going forward, as I support and I add my voice to this devolution committee, I'm also aware that for now I am speaking as a senator, but I am also speaking in light that in the very near future, I will be a governor and I would like to execute devolution and make sure that we are well represented in our county assemblies.
Senator Mandago, what is your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, this House being a House of record, I've had Senator Gloria say Senator Mandago sometimes is conflicted. For avoidance of doubt, because I don't even want her to substantiate, allow me to inform her that with the clarity of mind I have no conflict whatsoever. For my previous roles and my current roles, I know the distinction as day and night. Honorable Speaker. So I wish her well in her aspirations of becoming a governor, but she should take lessons from elders like me.
Senator Wafula, what is your point of order?
Thank you, asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa nafasi hii. Ningependa kwa heshima kwa hoja ya nidhamu jinsi nimeuliza. Si vyema na haki Senator mwenzangu Mheshimiwa Gloria kutoa hoja zisizoweza thibitishwa na kusema kwamba Mheshimiwa Mandago huwa na mawimbi ama mtafaruku wa msimamo na hawezi chukua msimamo kwa masuala fulani katika jumba hili. Ili hali amekosa kuthibitisha ama kufafanua ni wapi, vipi na lini Senator tajika governor aliyekuwa wa Uasin Gishu aweze kuelewa haya madai ama hoja ambazo haziwezi thibitishwa zinatoka wapi. Naomba Mheshimiwa Spika mshurutishe Senator mwenzangu kubainisha yale aliyosema ama ondoe hoja hizo kwa sababu ya heshima ya jumba la Senate. Asante.
Senator Wafula, Senator Mandago amemsamehea Senator Gloria na amesema hana haja ya Gloria kuthibitisha hiyo maneno, na amefafanua jambo hilo lilosemwa na Senator Gloria. So wacha tuachie hapo na endelee na maneno yake. Senator Gloria.
Thank you, Speaker, for clarifying that we should not mourn more than the bereaved. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude by saying that as we protect devolution, we have to ensure that we are thinking of the future and not just our current positions, Mr. Speaker. And so on the matters that are going on in Isiolo, in Nyamira, and all other counties that have some challenges here and there, I want to urge my fellow senators to put in 100% understanding that we are all gubernatorial candidates at some point. And so we are not here to protect the interests of any office, but to protect the systems within devolution so that we can have sustainable frameworks on executing, that everyone in the grassroots level is able to get the development that is owed to them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Senator Hedi Okech.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, we have a committee report here. And this committee report, my attention has been drawn to page 14, I think, of the report, page 13 and 14 of the report. And if you're on the tablet, you can perhaps go to page 21 of the tablet and page 22 of the tablet. And essentially, this is on the issue of the Deputy Governor of Nzoia, Honorable Philomena Kapkori, and other stakeholders who are involved, but of course, particularly being the governor. And Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Governor had reached out to IBEC, of course, through the Deputy President, which that letter was then copied to this House through the Speaker of this House. And the foundational claims that were put forward by the Deputy Governor of Nzoia was that our life is under threat, serious threat, that when she was in the US, she came back and found out that there were a lot of targets on her personal life, and those threats were more explicitly also communicated through a staffer of the governor. And therefore she was seeking for an intervention that could give her reprieve. Yet in the observation of the committee, Mr. Speaker, the first observation of the committee is that there was a simmering rift between the governor and the deputy governor, even though both of them did not indicate explicitly so that they have a major conflict between them. The second observation that the committee made, insofar as the report is concerned, because I want to confine myself within the data of the report, is that the work of the deputy governor had significantly been impacted by the communication breakdown between her and the governor. So there's an issue of communication breakdown. The governor and the deputy are saying they don't have dispute between the two of them, but the committee is observing that there is a serious communication breakdown between the two. This is the deputy who constitutionally is supposed to assist the governor in executing his mandate or a mandate, but yet they are not communicating. So it behooves me to conclude that in that lack of communication, whether deliberate or otherwise, indicate there is a conflict. The third observation, Mr. Speaker, is that there is an ongoing rift between the governor and the deputy, that the ongoing rift between the governor and the deputy is fueling ethnic animosities among the communities in Nzoia County. Mr. Speaker, this is not a light observation. We're in a country that we have seen political mobilization along ethnical lines bringing this county down. We have observed in 2007, when there was political tension on a rigged election, or rather claimed rigged election, Mr. Speaker, leading to tribal clashes that the magnitude of those clashes we still remember up to today, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think it will interest you to know that the governor of Nzoia, Governor Mutembei, comes from the Luya community. And the Deputy Governor, Philomena, comes from the Kalenjin community. And in Nzoia, Mr. Speaker, the Kalenjin community and the Luya community are quite sizable as communities. So if this conflict is bringing some tribal animosities that the committee of this house has observed, I don't think you can waste this hour's time not discussing the depth of that problem. Observation number 4, Mr. Speaker, is that the National Cohesion and Integration Commission started an investigation on this matter, but never concluded, so that the committee could be able to give us the input of the National Integration Commission, Mr. Speaker. Now, Mr. Speaker, you've heard me complain here a number of times that National Cohesion and Integration Commission, among other independent commissions that are supposed to do oversight role or execute in terms of dealing with issues that dealing with issues such as corruption, like EACC is supposed to deal with, they never get anywhere with these issues. And what that observation tells you, Mr. Speaker, from the committee, is that it is this House that then must conclude the problem that we are seeing in Nzoia. We cannot leave it to the National Cohesion and Integration Commission or otherwise any other external commission hoping that they will address the issue. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, in the observation, the committee observed that the governor of Nzoia was very much willing to have the working relationship with the deputy governor restored. That's a contradiction, Mr. Speaker. The same governor who said there is no dispute between the two of them is now saying he wishes that the relationship is restored. And even going further to state that the issues impacting their relationships could be solved amicably to have them run the county smoothly. Mr. Speaker, what I'm observing here is very simple. That observation tells us that we as a country are constantly going to face an imminent challenge of deputy governors and governors never going to find a working formula. And we have complained in this House, Mr. Speaker, when we observe that the deputy governor and governor positions are sometimes about who controls what numbers and not necessarily who can work with the other. In some instances, we have seen a good working relationship, but it's becoming more and more obvious and more clearer to us that there is constant conflict between deputy governors and the governors that is making counties constantly untenable. And Mr. Speaker, this thing is problematic because there is instances where a governor would spend more resources than his deputy governor or a deputy governor, and because of this kind of conflict, it becomes an avenue of even some governors being impeached so that their deputies can take over. We are lucky that we have got two governors in this House who are governors who are foundational to devolution, who did not experience this. They manage their relationship very well. We can learn, we can glean some moral from them. That is Governor Mandago and Governor Senator Ali Roba. They did quite well in terms of how to manage their deputies. But also in this House, we have observed a number of impeachments that has been pushed towards us. Some did not succeed, but some succeeded. We just know that in Meru recently, one of the G7 members, which is something we should have celebrated, a woman governor got ousted because of tensions that even during her time in this House, in the 3 impeachment motions that she was here in, she did indicate to this House that one of the reasons why she was facing a lot of problems in her county of Meru was because of a constrained relationship, more generally with chauvinistic male leaders in her county, but in particularly also she had a problem with her own deputy. It's a matter of record. We also saw in Siaya County that when the deputy governor of Siaya appeared in this House over an impeachment issue, there was a serious problem between the deputy governor and the governor. And Mr. Speaker, these problems do not just come from nowhere. They come from, one, lack of clear responsibility of what a deputy governor should do. While the Constitution gives us a blanket guidance that they're supposed to assist the governor in dealing with their roles, Mr. Speaker, when you are assisting, you need resources.
Senator Wafula, what is your point of order?
Speaker, a statement of clarity from Honorable Eddie. Is it in order, Honorable Speaker, for Senator Eddie to, on his feet, to allege that the leaders, the men from Meru, are chauvinists? Does it mean that the MCAs who came to this floor of the House and did what they did to be chauvinists? Is it in order? Can he substantiate that the men from Meru are chauvinists?
Senator Eddie. Senator, would you like to be informed by Senator Gloria?
Mr. Speaker, I take information in doses. Can I deal with the first information I've gotten from Senator Wafula?
The first one was a point of order.
Yes, but it's still information.
This one is point of information.
Mr. Speaker, I'm never mean with my time. I'm always a learner, a student. I can learn from everyone. So I'll allow her to inform me.
Senator Gloria.
Thank you, Senator Eddie Oketch. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to inform Senator Eddie Oketch and perhaps also Senator Wafula that we were here in plenary when we were showcased all the videos of everything that happened in Meru County. We even had the witnesses, some of them who were legislators, come here. And some of us who were very present in that live proceeding, the information is in the Hansard to substantiate that, in fact, there was a lot of patriarchy.
Senator Mandago,
I am on a point of information. How can you stand on a point of order on a point of information?
Gloria, take your seat. Senator Mandago, what's your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I stand on Standing Order 101, Contents of Speech, 101(2). It shall be out of order to introduce an argument on any specific question upon which the Senate has taken a decision during the same session. Honorable Speaker, we took a decision as a Senate to impeach the governor for Meru. It was not about male chauvinism. It was about the proceedings of this House. And the women leaders in this Senate and this country, like Senator Gloria, should learn not to feminize everything about the debates in this House, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Gloria.
Mr. Speaker, I happen to have gone to a very prestigious school and they taught me to read well, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you read that 101, 101 I went to St. George's Girls, State House Primary and St. George's Girls Secondary School. Mr. Speaker, it reads, it shall be out of order to introduce an argument on any specific question upon which the Senate has taken a decision during the same session. Mr. Speaker, I believe the governor of Meru was impeached long ago. And I am informing Senator Eddie Oketch that during that impeachment motion, we witnessed here, by way of videos, by way of statements, and even witnesses who came here who are very, very, very patriarchal, Mr. Speaker. So it is in fact in order. What Senator Eddie Oketch is saying has been substantiated in the Hansard, and I actually was informing Senator Eddie Oketch that he can rely on the Hansard of the impeachment motion of Governor Kawira Mwangaza, because most of the things in the first and second, and even the third impeachment motion, did not allude to the fact, but substantiated the fact that most of the leaders that were participated in the impeachment motion of Governor Kawira, the first woman governor who actually vied on an independent ticket against 3 very heavyweight men with a lot of resources and won, all of her battles were based on the fact that the men in those spaces did not believe that she triumphed and she won them in an election.
Senator Fuller, you can't stand on a point of order twice on the same issue. Senator Eddie Okech, I hope you feel informed by Senator Gloria, but despite that, there was a point of order raised by Senator Wafula. If you could please respond to that.
Mr. Speaker, it's very easy to be in this house and play politics, but the country also must be governed. And the opportunity for leadership is a noble one, usually taken as a privilege by many, but it's never a privilege to some of us. It's a duty and a responsibility for which we commit very seriously. I wish not to respond to Senator Wafula. Mr. Speaker,
Senator Eddy, what was your last statement?
I wish not to respond to Senator Wafula.
No. It is not your wish whether you will respond to Senator Wafula or not. Senator Wafula stood on a point of order. You happened to mention that certain leaders from county government of Meru are chauvinist. Can you substantiate that statement?
Mr. Speaker, I hope that you will also keep my time focused, because I wanted to address the issue.
We have stopped your time.
I'm going to, because sometimes, Mr. Speaker, if I go with the point of order that we have in this house, standing on number 122, there is something called frivolous point of orders that can take you out of debate. That's why we have got those point of orders, Mr. Speaker. But I'm going to respond because you have guided me. But I hope that you will still allow me to prosecute on this matter. I think it's a very serious matter, the issue of what's happening in Nzoia. Mr. Speaker, the governor of Meru, the former governor of Meru, appeared in this house 3 times. Not once, 3 times. The first time that the governor of Meru appeared in this house, the house chose to take her to a committee to prosecute on the issue of impeachment. There is report that we filed in this house. I was a member of the committee that gave a reprieve on the basis that there was chauvinistic element in that report. You can go to that report and read. And the reason why I did not want to go that direction is because if you are senator in this house and you have come up with a report and you haven't read that report, then I don't need to respond to you because you're not doing your job. Number 2, when she was brought here for the second time, Mr. Speaker, the same chauvinistic videos, conversations appeared in this house, Mr. Speaker. We as a house sat on the same case and we excused Governor Kawira on the basis of those conversations. There were lawyers in this house, there were witnesses in this house, everybody participated. If the senator of Bungoma wasn't keen enough in those proceedings that ended up excusing Governor Kawira on that basis, I can only help him by telling him to go and read those reports.
Senator,
and lastly, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Eddy.
Yes.
So that I can allow you to proceed with your submissions.
Sure, Mr. Speaker.
As chair, I do think that Senator of Bungoma, the distinguished senator for Bungoma, has a point of order. And you are indeed out of order to imply that the senator of the governor of Meru was impeached because she was brought here by chauvinistic leaders from Meru. That is not the reason why the Senate impeached the governor of Meru. So you are out of order. If you could please apologize and withdraw that statement and then continue with your submission.
Mr. Speaker.
Senator Eddy.
Mr. Speaker.
If you stick to Standing Order 120, in terms of relevance in your submission to the motion at hand, you will not be attracting this number of point of orders. So please just withdraw your statement and proceed with your submissions.
It will be unfair to subject me to a ruling that is not fair to the House. I quoted when supporting this statement that a governor appeared in this House, and I've told you 3 times, she appeared in this House and claimed that one of the reasons why she's having a problem, I've just referred to it.
That was her defense, Senator.
Yes, exactly.
That was her defense.
But it's a matter of fact. It's a matter of fact.
Senator Eddy.
Yes.
Was she impeached because of chauvinism in Meru County?
It was part of
Is that why you impeached her? Senator Eddy, we could go back and check your vote.
Mr. Speaker,
we can go back and check your vote and see if you voted to impeach her on those grounds.
Mr.
So
Speaker,
let us get back to the motion at hand. Apologize, withdraw, and proceed with your submissions.
Mr. Speaker, I can't apologize
for
on a matter that I'm convicted about.
For calling the people of Meru chauvinist.
Mr. Speaker, I did not call the people of Meru chauvinist.
The leaders.
Mr. Speaker, I did not call the people of Meru chauvinist. Mr. Speaker, we are now debating. I would rather sit down and stop debating with you because I respect your chair, Mr. Speaker.
So please, if you have respect for the chair,
yes,
withdraw that statement
Mr.
and
Speaker,
proceed with your submission.
I can't withdraw the statement because, Mr. Speaker, I am saying very clearly that the governor in question, the governor of Meru, did not appear in this House once. She appeared in this House 3 times. I was a member of those committees the entire time. Okay? Yeah, and her claims of why she appeared in this House, whether she was not impeached because of them or she was impeached, are just as important as the claims of the MCA who brought her here. Okay? And if she claimed that the men of Meru are chauvinist, it's a matter of statement that's in the House, Mr. Speaker. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Senator Eddy.
Yes.
You keep repeating that you respect the chair. So, exactly. You have made a statement here referring to certain leaders from Meru County as chauvinist. And I have mentioned to you that the governor of Meru, the impeached governor of Meru, used that as her defense.
Yes.
And at the time the Senate impeached the governor of Meru, were we aware of that matter or not? Was she impeached because the Senate was also chauvinist and impeached a lady governor? She was impeached because there were several other charges that were brought against her, and that's why she was impeached. So, Senator Eddy, just withdraw the statement and proceed with your submissions.
Mr. Speaker, I can't withdraw the statement because in an impeachment process, there is voting. That's how this House runs. In an impeachment process, there is voting, and I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, that if you go back to the answered, there are those people who voted against that impeachment, including myself, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Eddy.
So,
Senator
it's
Eddy.
a belief.
Senator Eddy.
Yes.
I will give you one last chance. And before that, take your standing orders. Go to standing order 122, which I'm almost being forced to find you with gross disorderly conduct. Defying a ruling or direction of the Speaker or Chairperson of the committee. That is 1221A. Are you still standing by the fact that you're not going to withdraw that statement?
Mr. Speaker, I think that you can go back to the answered, and the answered will help you make a fair ruling. Okay? I referred, and I still, anything that happens in this House, Mr. Speaker, you can use it to reinforce a debate. Okay? The reason why we are having the governor of Nzoia having a problem with the deputy is because deputies and their governors have problems all the time. I don't find myself out of order if I quote a governor who was brought before this House claiming the same problem, that they have a problem with their deputy, who she said was chauvinist against her at that time. This is not me saying, this is the governor saying in this house, in our evidence with this house. I don't find that out to be out of order, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, it's not only the issue of Governor Kawira, Mr. Speaker. There are a number of governors who have come to this house, including the governor of Siaya, who have referred to, because of the problem that we see with deputy governors and their governors that make their world of working very difficult, Mr. Speaker. What is the problem of me using an example, Mr. Speaker, of what has been brought in this house to show constraints between governors and their deputies?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me to stand. Senator Eddy had started very well in his submission on this very serious matter of devolution, and he had taken a very good trajectory that leadership needs responsibility and it must be taken seriously. But, Honorable Speaker, that standing order 122, Senator Eddy is defying the ruling of the Speaker, the Chair, and wants to argue with the Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Senator Eddy said the Meru men are juvenists. Honorable Speaker, it was the submission of the governor of Meru, not some leaders, not some men leaders from Meru. So I think you are confusing matters here, Senator Eddy. If you said Governor Kawira alleged, would be in agreement. But to try and brand an entire community of Meru men to be juvenist, when I know the senator for Meru, being a very serious supporter of women leaders in this country, Honorable Speaker, when I know the men in this Senate and in this Parliament support women leadership, this House has never been biased when it comes to impeachment, Honorable Speaker. This very House, Honorable Speaker, impeached the Deputy Governor for Kisii, who is a man, without mercy, because he failed in his roles. Therefore, the
Senator Gloria,
is closely...
You are getting very close to catching my eye, and I will throw you out of the House. Let the Senator speak in silence.
Yes.
Let him be heard in silence.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And especially if you are aspiring to be a governor, and a governor who has served 2 terms is on his feet.
Senator Gloria.
Gloria must learn to listen. Finally, let me say this, Honorable Speaker, so that I sit. You know, they say, and I've always heard, that the enemy of women is women. If the leadership of women is what we want to adopt is what the kind of arguments we see Senator Gloria trying to advance here. These are the same women who are undermining women leadership. They should learn to follow the proceedings, understanding orders of the House and the procedure of the House. I stood on this point of order because I know Senator Eddy is a very serious young man who I believe has a very bright future in this country, Honorable Speaker. In fact, in my retirement and in my old age, I would be seeing a Senator Eddy presidency in this country. And I will not allow Senator Eddy to be misled by women leaders who want to feminize everything at the expense of the law. So, Senator Eddy, please take this very seriously if you want to progress and the directions of the Chair.
Senator Gloria, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, you know, considering that I was supporting the submissions of Senator Eddy Oketch, I do not want to disrupt him. But, Mr. Speaker, when I listen to Senator Mandago standing, and not only Senator Mandago, today, this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, it's a really trying session. But when I listen to various senators always trying to cast aspersions to women leaders in this House, Mr. Speaker, even alluding that Senator Eddy Oketch should not listen to me because therefore he has no future in politics, Mr. Speaker. What is Senator Mandago? Does he understand that Senator Mandago, when he was even in politics, I was in primary school, and he has gone round and round all those years in politics. Now we are sitting in the same house, Mr. Speaker, That should tell you that there's something that women leaders, including myself, are doing right. Because, Mr. Speaker, he should have actually not been in the same space where I am if I was doing something wrong, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg that as we are executing our debates, with all fairness, Mr. Speaker, this afternoon, and being a representative of women, because that is my specially elected, the representation that I put here, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you,
Mr. Speaker, please protect this House
You are
from
protected.
chauvinistic arguments like those of Senator Mandago, claiming that if this is the women leadership we have, then we don't need women leaders. Mr. Speaker, may I remind Senator Mandago that if it was not for women, he would not even be alive, Mr. Speaker. Yeah. We are the ones who are giving birth to these men all over, Mr. Speaker. We are the ones who are bringing leaders into this country. Mr. Speaker, protect women in this House and myself, and have him withdraw that comment
Senator
and apologize.
Wafula, what is your point of order? And I have to put an end to this matter now.
I want to request the chair to protect citizens from the toxic statements that are being spewed on the floor of the House. Honorable Speaker, we have guests at the gallery, and as a wise man, we need to take cover of such unpalatable and digestible statements being flown on the floor of the House. Time is up, Honorable Eddie, to step up and be a senator. Listen to the counsel of the chair, and let us proceed with the discussion. And I want to thank you, Chair, for stabilizing this session and bringing people back to the topic of the day.
Thank you, Senator Wafula. I'm going to welcome the guest, Senator Eddie. And when I'm done, I hope, and it is my wish, that you're going to withdraw your statement. Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon, a delegation from the all-party parliamentary groups. The APPG is a cross-party group in the United Kingdom run by and for members of the Commons and Lords. The delegation is undertaking a one-day visit to the Senate with a view to gaining insights into the legislative process, the architectural heritage of the buildings, and overall functioning of both houses of Parliament. Honorable Senators, the delegation is being hosted by the Parliamentarians for Global Action, Kenyan chapter. The Parliamentarians for Global Action is dedicated to fostering collaboration and undertaking across different parliamentary bodies and jurisdictions. I request each member of the delegation to stand when called out so that you may be acknowledged in the Senate tradition. Ms. Leah E. Ingham, Head of Delegation. The Right Honorable Baroness Tessa A. V. Blackstone. Ms. Kirith Ki A. Entwistle. Mr. Richard J. Holden. Dr. Rupa A. Huck. Baroness Doreen D. Lawrence. Baroness Carmen Smith. Ms. Kim M. Johnson. Ms. Ann Met Jabi. Eduarda Mendonca Gray. Dr. Rail Mutahi. Kigen Korir. Agako Ekirapa. On behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome and wish you a fruitful visit. Can we have Senator Tabitha to have the opportunity to welcome the guests?
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to welcome our guests, who are the UK MPs from the House of Commons and the House of Lords. And I want to really tell them to feel at home. I look forward to joining you later because, Mr. Speaker, I'm part of the team for Partnership for Global Action, which we've worked very closely with Mr. Festus of Maristops, and we do a lot in terms of support for our bills
especially on women issues, child issues, gender-based violence. And I'm happy because I know you've invited me this great evening for dinner. I look forward to interacting with you very closely. And I want to really wish you a fruitful moment here in Nairobi. This is the capital city. As a parliament, as you've seen, I know you've walked around. I was not able to join you. But we are bicameral. This is the upper house, the Senate. Then we also have the National Assembly on the other side. We normally transact and do pass bills, which undertake a process. So feel at home, and I look forward to engaging with you. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Eddie Okech.
Mr. Speaker, if you look at the report before us, it's a report that again involves a male governor and a woman deputy governor. And I think that the matter is so huge that I won't trivialize it with a point of order that has come from the senator for Bungoma. So therefore, I wish to withdraw that statement. And I have got more important things to discuss because, Mr. Speaker, as you can see, I'm supposed to talk here for 20 minutes. I spoke for 4 minutes, and my time is up. When I'm discussing an issue that is affecting a serious system of devolution between deputy governors and governors. So I hope that, Mr. Speaker, you will extend the same courtesy and give me my 16 minutes so that I can be able to prosecute on this matter, because I came to prosecute on this matter. And Mr. Speaker, if I may proceed, Mr. Speaker, there were recommendations from the committee. And those recommendations are what I had to give a little bit of weight, because, number one, following that successful process, it seems it turned into a mediation where both parties did agree to work together, and therefore the committee went ahead to recommend that the governor and the deputy governor of Nzoia to remain positive and harmonize the relationships by working together for an efficient service delivery. Mr. Speaker, that's a recommendation that I think that is a good one in faith, but not good one in practice. Mr. Speaker, we know where there is a constraint of relationship between a governor and a deputy governor, it's not very possible, especially where the question of resources and responsibility have been brought, like they have been overly brought here between Governor Mutembei and his deputy. We can't leave it to an amicable relationship, Mr. Speaker. We see equal recommendation here, Mr. Speaker, that the office of the deputy governor should sufficiently be facilitated with better allocations, as well as adequate staff and vehicle for its full operation. I wish that this one had been specified. What did the committee mean by binary allocation? I think that as a house, we should pass it that the deputy governor of Nzoia, first of all, must be given very specific functions. Because budget cannot come where there is no functions. Budget cannot come where there is no responsibility. So it's my wish, Mr. Speaker, that this House can be able to concretize some of these reports. For instance, Mr. Speaker, if there has been constraint between the governor on the basis of resources alone, then why can't this House recommend that Governor Mutembei gives Deputy Governor Philomena some very specific responsibilities and therefore goes ahead and allocate resources to them so as can be able to operationalize our office as this committee had intended. The committee equally, Mr. Speaker, has recommended here that the commissioner, the county commissioner, should ensure safety and security for the deputy governor as she returns to our office for her to be comfortably able to work and serve. Mr. Speaker, I know it looks light when I raise this issue of women in leadership. It looks light when a woman in leadership perhaps raises an issue of security, Mr. Speaker. But I think this is inadequate in the sense that, Mr. Speaker, we cannot make recommendation that leaves that decision to the county commissioner. we need to make this concrete enough of what do we think is the commensurate security that the Deputy Governor of Nzoia must get. And that security, Mr. Speaker, must be commensurate to the kind of threats that she has received, Mr. Speaker. For instance, if you have received death threats in SMSs from the closest people to the governor, Mr. Speaker, then it means that immediately we will need to establish as a Senate whether the Deputy Governor of Nzoia has even a bodyguard, Mr. Speaker. It is being said here that she doesn't have even a vehicle to go to work, meaning that you are leaving this woman leader to a situation where she can even be abducted on the road, Mr. Speaker. She can be abducted on the road as a women deputy governor. Anything can happen to her, Mr. Speaker. So we need to concretize some of these recommendations in the context of the threats that this wonderful leader has received over the past times, Mr. Speaker. There's a recommendation here, Mr. Speaker, that the deputy governor, having challenges in delivering services at the county, should take preemptive measures by writing to the committee, among other relevant agencies, to seek assistance early enough before the issues escalate. Mr. Speaker, that's a value judgment. If you look at it from a recommendation perspective, Mr. Speaker, it's a value judgment because it intimates the idea that the deputy governor is actually not in a good working relationship with the committees in the executive arm of.
We did add time for you, but I'll give you 1 minute to conclude. Give him the mic.
Mr. Speaker, I wish it was 5 minutes, but I'm a loyal servant to the people of Migori County and to the people of Kenya. So I'll stick to the 1 minute, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, where we have had a biggest rot, Mr. Speaker, is the fact that Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee and other agencies that we have put in place to be able to champion transitions, Mr. Speaker, have also not done their work in terms of establishing the responsibility that I'm talking about, Mr. Speaker. It is high time, Mr. Speaker, I think that this House, either we should scrap off the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee in its entirety, Mr. Speaker, and perhaps give all those responsibilities, Mr. Speaker, to the devolution committee, Mr. Speaker. Because this devolution committee, Mr. Speaker, has got more teeth than IGRTC, Mr. Speaker. You are seeing what is happening in Nyamira, Mr. Speaker. They are doing nothing about it. Why can't we make a decision that can be able to empower this committee on devolution to take on some of these duties, Mr. Speaker, and highlight in specific measures the duties for deputy governors. Highlight in specific measures the duties to speakers in the counties, Mr. Speaker, and the relationship with the governors, Mr. Speaker. Because otherwise, devolution is always under threat.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Jackson Mandago.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity to weigh in on this report from the Committee of Devolution. From the onset, Honourable Speaker, I want to thank the Chair and his members for wading into the matter of Nzoia County that was simmering between the Deputy Governor and the Governor. However, Honourable Speaker, as things stand today, despite the efforts of the Devolution Committee to resolve that matter, what we are witnessing at the moment in Nzoia County is actually a pushback of what the Devolution Committee had already achieved. Honourable Speaker, as to the position of Deputy Governor and governors in counties, Honourable Speaker, as had already been alluded, there is need for each party to understand their roles. But these situations sometimes are precipitated by the political partnerships that are initiated before election, Honourable Speaker. And this is where the feeling of some of the deputy governors of being co-governors with the elected governor. And my advice to honorable deputy governors, with a lot of tremendous respect, is that they should perform their roles of being a deputy governor regardless of their political participation during election, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in some counties, there are political partnership to marshal numbers to be able to win an election between a deputy governor because of geographical reasons or ethnic reasons, Honorable Speaker. But that should end with a ballot Once elections are over and we have a governor and a deputy governor in place, each of them should perform the duties of their respective offices, Honorable Speaker, so that we don't strain the functionality of the county, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, for the case of Nzoia, Honorable Speaker, although the committee observations in the report are that the deputy governor and the governor seem to present an image of they have no problem amongst themselves, Honorable Speaker, but the truth of the matter is that there was a problem and there is still a problem, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, the problem in Nzoia emanates from the behavior of the governor, Honorable Speaker. So it's not the question of deputy and the governor. It is the behavior of the current governor of Nzoia County that precipitated that situation. It is the same behavior that is precipitating a dangerous situation in that county, Honorable Speaker. And the speeches of the governor for Nzoia has been laced with a lot of tribal undertones, Honorable Speaker, and I don't blame the governor. This behavior started when he was a regional commissioner. You remember at some point he told the people of Kericho and parts of Mau that you reproduce like rats, Honorable Speaker. And he has continued the same kind of talk in a county. What we need to remind the governor for Nzoia is that he is not a village chief or a tribal chief. He is a county governor. Nzoia County is a home to all the communities in this country, Honorable Speaker. And the governor should be sensitive in his speech, Honorable Speaker, to the extent that he has to maintain cohesion. Honorable Speaker, the matter the Devolution Committee handled also invited stakeholders like the National Cohesion and Declaration Commission, Honorable Speaker. I am completely disappointed I see to act and even submit a report to the Devolution Committee to date, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have seen the biasness in NCIC. They move with speed when sections of political leaders speak, and they see no evil, hear no evil, say no evil. When a section of other leaders speak, Honorable Speaker. And you can tell, Honorable Speaker, even from what we are being treated to today in the drama and music festivals in Nakuru, Honorable Speaker, where a politician has been allowed to use a school as a platform to advance his political agenda that is distracting the education system of the country, that is trying to cause disintegration of the nation, Honorable Speaker. And as we speak now, NCIC has not even made a comment, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Senator Gloria, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I stand under Standing Order 105 on statement of fact. Senator Mandago, as is executing his case, Mr. Speaker, is talking of the play that was written by Cleophas Malala and directed, and he has alluded to the fact that that play is in fact a way of Cleophas Malala's entry or pushing his own political agenda, Mr. Speaker. I happen to have actually gone through the script prior to all of this because I am an producer and in that space. And Mr. Speaker, what Senator Mandago is saying is in fact not true. It is not a statement of fact. I would like to invite him to have a look at the script and what that play was intending to put out, Mr. Speaker. And as much as we are politicking, Mr. Speaker, to enter the world of creatives and try to disrupt it by way of deciding what kind of creative content is put out in that particular setting that already has in-house regulations, Mr. Speaker, he is actually misleading the House and the public because he is not even aware of the content, Mr. Speaker. I am 100% sure that he has not watched the play and he has not even gone through the script, Mr. Speaker. So therefore, I hope he can withdraw that comment because it is very, Mr. Speaker, it actually infringes on the rights of creatives. We are not looking at Malala as an individual, Mr. Speaker.
Senator,
this is a whole industry.
Senator Gloria, I am really finding it hard to grasp your point of order. Senator Mandago has not mentioned any names. He has referred to the play. Yes, and he said politicians, but he never mentioned any names, as you are trying to inform this House that he's referring to Senator Malala. No, you're assuming that he's referring to the former senator of this House, Senator Malala. Your point of order was that he's infringing on creative arts, so what is your point? That's why I said I find it very difficult to follow your point of order.
Mr. Speaker, Senator Mandago was alluding to the fact that that particular play is actually to push the agenda of a politician. And Mr. Speaker...
Did he say that exactly?
That is, in many words, Mr. Speaker, that is what he said. And Mr. Speaker, that's what I'm trying to say. He's misleading the House. Because
Senator,
I don't think drama festivals were being put in place to push a political agenda.
You know, Gloria, I think Senator Mandago is responsible of what he said. So, Senator Mandago, did you imply what Senator Gloria is insinuating?
Honorable Speaker, I have not rendered my brain to Senator Orwoba to think or stretch our imagination on my own behalf. You know, Honorable Speaker, the attempts to use the floor of the House for media and publicity and public gallery, Honorable Speaker, is ruining the debate in the House. Honorable Speaker, I have not mentioned the name of Senator Cleophas Malala, and I don't know what super interest Senator Gloria or Woba has on Malala and his own problems. I knew what I was able to do, I didn't mention
Senator Gloria, you know, we have to proceed, and I have to caution you, Senator Gloria. Even when your mic is off, you're quite audible, and you seem to even interrupt my listening to the procedure. No, I gave you an opportunity already to raise your point of order, which, in my opinion, I don't find it as a point of order. So can we allow Senator Mandago to proceed with his submission? And Senator Gloria, you know, I would refer you to Standing Order 121, A, C. Just read it and pay attention to it, Senator.
Thank you,
Senator Mandago.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, before I was distracted, Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to finalize on the issue of the governor and deputy governor in county governments, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, what we are witnessing in some counties is an issue of people failing to perform the duties of that office and trying to compete for one office. And as I said earlier, Honorable Speaker, because of the nature of our politics as a country, sometimes it takes an effort of two to win an election. But that doesn't mean the two will occupy the same office. So I want to ask honorable deputy governors who are in political partnership with their governors to win election to satisfy themselves with the position of a deputy governor, work with the governor, and when the governor finishes his term in office, they can also run for the same seat. And we have a very good example of deputy governors who have worked well with their governors, like the former deputy governor for Kwale County, and now the governor for Kwale County. They worked, Our Excellency, the governor for Kwale, Achani, worked with Governor Salim Buria very well for 10 years, despite the fact that they had a political partnership of working together to win an election. And after 10 years, Governor Achani was able to win election as a deputy, from being a deputy governor to a full governor. We want to encourage deputy governors to work. But on the same breath, Honorable Speaker, governors must also respect their deputy governors, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, the problems start especially when governors allow their handlers. And I would say, you know, every politician has his political brokers and handlers, Honorable Speaker, to make sure that their political handlers respect the deputy governor, staff respect the deputy governor, and that way, Honorable Speaker, when the governor respects the deputy governor, the rest of the staff in the county will respect the deputy governor and they will have a functional governor's office, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I know there is a quest for deputy governors to be allocated duties by law. The framers of the Constitution, Honorable Speaker, did not envisage a situation where there will be specific duties of a deputy governor. It was envisaged that the deputy governor will assist the governor and in the absence of the governor, perform the duties of a governor. And therefore, assigning them duties in law, in my view, Honorable Speaker, will limit the performance of the deputy governor in an event where the governor is not present. Not just because the governor has left office, Honorable Speaker, but even when the governor travels out of the country, for example, Honorable Speaker, and the deputy governor is supposed to step in a situation where the roles and the functions of the deputy governor has been assigned specific duty, it will then be difficult to assign additional duties of the office of the governor. So I would only ask that the governors must respect deputy governors. They must provide resources to run the office of the deputy governors. They should not play games in terms of releases of resources to deputy governors, Honorable Speaker, because the deputy governors also have a constitutional responsibility of assisting the governor. And Honorable Speaker, if governors allow proper flow of resources to the offices of deputy governors and allow them to perform the duties of deputy governors, Honorable Speaker, then we shall not see what we saw in Nzoia County, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, if you see staff disrespecting a deputy governor, or even having the audacity to comment in public about their deputy governor, Honorable Speaker, that disrespect is not originated by the staff. It is actually the governor himself who must have initiated that kind of a talk, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I urge governors to respect their deputy governors, to ensure that those officers are properly resourced for them to be able to perform their function. I don't agree with the sentiments of my colleagues, Senator Cherargei, who say deputy governors are supposed to read newspapers in the office. Those are not functions that have been assigned to the deputy governors, Honorable Speaker. They should perform the roles they have been given and responsibilities. But governors must ensure that deputy governors have their resources. This idea of deputy governors' vehicles are not being serviced, they are not being fueled, I don't know, their drivers are not being paid allowances. Those are very primitive ways of dealing with matters. If a governor and deputy governor have a problem, they should have a sit down and leave the operations of the offices to run while they address their problems, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank the Committee for Devolution for the work they have done, but that committee needs to be supported by the agencies that also have constitutional mandates, like NCIC, IGRTC, who are supposed to also implement the recommendations of the Devolution Committee. Honorable Speaker, when recommendations of the House are not implemented, then it renders the work of that committee valueless. But if those agencies like NCIC, IGRTC do make a follow-up and ensure that those recommendations are implemented, Honorable Speaker, then the value of the work this committee has put in will be seen. But we must congratulate Senator Abbas, the chair of the Devolution Committee, and his members for the work they are doing. I'm also confident, Honorable Speaker, that Senator Sabah's committee will be able to resolve the matter of Nyamira, where we have 2 county assemblies, Honorable Speaker, that are being run in one county. I think that is a county that has a record of its own, to be able to run a county assembly under a tree and another county assembly in the registered premises of the county assembly. But I'm sure Senator Abbas and his committee should be able to address that matter and bring the 2 warring factions of the county assembly of Nyamira together and make sure we have a functional county assembly. When the county assembly of Nyamira is not functional, it means the oversight functions of the county of Nyamira are impaired by that, Honorable Speaker, and therefore the citizens of Nyamira may not benefit from the role of the county assembly of ensuring that the resources that we fought to go to Nyamira County, that the resources the senator for Nyamira keeps asking that be released to Nyamira County cannot be ascertained how they are used if the county assembly is not functional, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, even as the devolution committee takes their role, we also want to urge the members of county assembly to avoid situations where we can have 2 county assemblies in one county. Impeachment is a process, and I think we need to take impeachment by its strides because it is provided in law. If you are impeached, then you have to leave. If the impeachment process doesn't succeed, those who are pro the impeachment process should not personalize the process to the extent of creating factions within the assembly or even the county, Honorable Speaker. They should be satisfied that they made an attempt, they follow the law, they voted, they never succeeded. They will always have another chance if they do want to impeach their Speaker, Honorable Speaker, and therefore they should just follow the law. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Honorable Senators, before I call the next speaker, which is Senator Omtata, I would like to suspend the sitting for 5 minutes and resume thereafter to attend to a personal matter. Let us resume. Senator Omtata.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for the opportunity to address this august House. In regards to the motion being debated, I've looked through the motion and I'll comment on a few issues. One, this matter was allegedly triggered off by an element of insubordination on the part of the deputy governor, who, as reported in the report, decided to approach the deputy president to go on a trip to the USA, then without the knowledge or approval of her governor. And when the governor learned of it, when she wanted to be facilitated for the trip, I think he lost his cool. I also think that the committee should have condemned that insubordination, which it did not, even if the governor overreacted, because then the other thing of governors being facilitated, deputy governors, the law is very clear. When you look at the election of although the law does not clearly state the functions, the Constitution does not state the functions of a deputy governor, but you can glean them from what the Constitution says about the deputy president. In Article 147 of the Constitution, it is clearly stated that 1, the deputy president shall be the principal assistant of the president and shall deputize for the president in the execution of the president's functions. 2, the deputy president shall perform the functions conferred by this Constitution and any other functions of the president as the president may assign. 3, subject to Article 134, when the president is absent or is temporarily incapacitated, and during any other period that the president decides, the deputy president shall act as the president. The deputy president shall not hold any other state or public office. Mr. Speaker, sir, if that was to be if that was to be understood in its clarity, you would realize that a deputy governor is nothing more than a spare wheel, for lack of a better image. Like on a vehicle, you have a spare wheel that comes into play when one of the wheels is incapacitated or is not functional. This idea that deputy governors can stand apart from a governor is untenable, because it is going to create two centers of power, and that will not be good. The governor and the deputy governor are one ticket. There's one center of power in the county, and the deputy governor must realize that there's no shortcut to the governorship. If they wanted to be governors, they should run as governors. They should not seek to be governors through the back door. To be a deputy is as defined in the law. So I don't see any other functions that can be assigned to a deputy governor beyond what the Constitution lays out for a deputy president in Article 47, taking into consideration all the changes and the alterations that may be required. In the question of mutual respect, I support that there has to be mutual respect, and where there's any misunderstanding, I think if there's mutual respect, it will be resolved. The other question that comes in is the question of budgetary allocations. I think the people who make the budget are MCAs, and if there's any group that has to be helped to understand maybe how to allocate funds and stuff, could be the MCA.